I'm back. Did you guys see the thumbnail? Welcome back. This is Nora Knows, and I'm your host, Nora Ames. 10 p.m. is late for you? Yeah, I'm also. 10 p.m. is late for me. 10 p.m. is late for me as well. Yeah. I'm an old lady now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for popping on back in. Appreciate. If you guys saw the title, F you, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about it. Yesterday, some big things happened yesterday. Let's recap. Let's share these the important things here in life. Football is life. Okay, yesterday, some very important things happened. Okay. Aaron Smith-Levin went to his court date. And there were some things on the docket yesterday. Specifically, a motion that the state's attorney had put together to revoke or amend his, his bail. Okay, right here. Beep, 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 beep. That one. Motion to revoke the bond. The judge said, yes, it's revoked, which means, as I pointed out, per the records here that you can see, Cheryl Fullerton is the bondsman depositor of Aaron's $1,000 bond. That is feral Cheryl. Yogini on the loose. This lady. This one. Okay. Who, as you can see, this is her public email. This is not a doxing. This is her email that she lists right there. Feral Cheryl on the loose at gmail.com. Okay. So she's the daughter of a founding Scientologist. She did not grow up in Scientology, but that's a fact. All right. So she protests. She's out there. Feral Cheryl on the loose. Okay. So yesterday I did a stream and I talked about what happened here. Okay. And Aaron's bond was revoked. He was what? Oh no, remanded. That means he's in jail. And then the pretrial hearing is set. The next, we go here. The next event. Nope, Nora. There was something on here that told me. Oh, the next hearing is on the 21st. Okay, for a motion. There's no public record of what the motion is, so I don't have it. I'm going to assume that the motion is to get Aaron out of jail and release him back on bond. We'll see what happens in that. I don't think the judge is a fan. Cheryl's description of her from the picture I showed yesterday was accurate. And then the next pretrial date for Aaron is on December 18th. Okay, this is all publicly available information. You can go to the court records for Pinellas County and see this all yourself. This is not revolutionary. This is not untoward. This is on the public thing because he had to be there. He had to be there in person. So that's why he didn't appear via Zoom. Oh, hi, Joe. Sorry, I was trying to pull this one up. Okay, because he was compelled to be there. All right, so then what happened? Okay, so then last night, I don't even know what I would nickname these three ladies, but on Aaron's channel, there was a stream, entitled Aaron Smith-Levin is in jail. Oh, that's just my feed. Sorry, guys. I can't make it smaller. There it is. Okay. Aaron Smith-Levin is in jail on his channel. It started out Natalie was hosting it. Then Jenna came on to talk about the things that she found out directly from Aaron. And then we have Feral Cheryl, who, in my opinion, doesn't have an original thought on her own. But that's just me. That's just me, guys. And you can see that in her emotions. She looks to see what Natalie and Jenna are doing. And I'll play you a clip where I was mentioned. And you can see Cheryl reacting the same way as Natalie until Jenna is like, the fuck? And then she shapes it up right away. This stream can only be characterized in one fashion, and that is not something for this stream. Specifically, I want to address this woman here. Now, I have not said one thing about Feral Cheryl in many months. It feels like years. Yeah. But of course, Reddit has taken the lead here, and in jokes that Aaron will have more money on his books in the commissary than I have been able to raise in the last few months, and that's accurate. He already has over $800 there, guys, and good for him. I want him to have food. I don't want anybody to not have food wherever they are. But that's fine. People can. And I even said it when I did the stream. I was very direct, guys. For those of you guys who were here for that stream the other day, I was explicit. If you want to support Aaron in his endeavor, in this legal endeavor, please go do so. Please donate. Please give to his commissary. I even gave links on how to do that and how to connect with him via the Smart Connect before this stream happened. Okay. I made no qualms about it. That you can go do whatever you want. If you want to go donate to Scott and his legal thing, go for it. Go for it. But this stream and the comments coming from this stream were incredible to view. Now, the amount of denial going on in this stream about one person's actions and who is the cause of their now consequences is mind-boggling. This is like talking to my children about picking up their room. Okay. This would be like as if I walked into my child's room and there's just laundry and things all over the floor. And I say, you need to pick this up because this is not clean. You need to clean this up. And their response to me is, well, I don't clean it because you were mean to me when I was 3. And therefore, I feel I don't have the need to clean. What? The idea, guys, that because Aaron was born into Scientology and grew up under horrific conditions, was shoved into indentured servitude as a child, and then later on made millions of dollars by working with very powerful Scientologists and did some time in the Sea Org and then left with his pregnant wife to go raise a family and then hook up with these very powerful Scientologists and make tons of money and then make his own company and make a fuck ton of money and then be on an Emmy award-winning show and launch his own YouTube career and then form 2 foundations. And that is to excuse behavior that the law enforcement people looked at the video of what he did on the day of the chalk incident and said, yeah, you kind of fucked up. Go back and watch the video. Go back and watch the moment that Aaron truly believes that he has totally got Scientology. He's like, here's my video. Here's my channel. It's like growing up in Scientology. And has the cop review the moment of the child's cornstarch, whatever you want to call it. Watch the cop's face. Now, that's a law enforcement person who, as far as we know, is not a paid stooge for Scientology. That guy was like, yeah, that you kind of did. You kind of did. Then when he's charged in that moment on that day, the cop at the moment was charging him with a felony, not a misdemeanor, because The guy who he hit with the chalk went away in an ambulance for respiratory distress. Let's not forget that. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. That's the circumstances with which the law enforcement official was operating. Okay. And then he was formally charged with a misdemeanor. Since that time of that charge on July 29th, he has continued similar activities outside of the premises of Scientology. Oh, excuse me, that burp came from the depths of hell. And is charged with an additional crime from October 23rd. Okay. From law enforcement. Scientology cannot charge them with a crime. Scientology is not law enforcement. Yes. Does Scientology pay lots of money to influence law enforcement? Yes. Now, I made this same analogy when I was discussing Scott's activities outside of Big Blue, and I will make the same analogy again for Aaron. If Aaron were protesting Wendy's because the square patties are unnatural and against God, and a Wendy's worker came out to be like, sir, I need you to get out of the drive-thru because people need to drive through the drive-thru. It's public property. It's public property. I can stand in the drive-thru if I want. And technically, he's right. He can stand in the drive-thru if he wants. Okay, let's say that's the scenario. And the Wendy's people are tired of his chalk art. That's what we're going to call it. Saying Wendy's is Soylent Green is people, like the square patties are people. And he's chalking that all up, and they're scrubbing it off every time because they're just trying to sell hamburgers. I'm not saying Scientology is benign as Wendy's selling hamburgers, but in the case, we're talking about Wendy's. And they came out with some water, and they put the water on it. I didn't block you. Seattle, I didn't block you. I can see your question. I didn't see your earlier questions, but I can see you. Calm down. Shh, take it down. Take it down a notch. And Aaron decided to throw, and this is in my opinion, in my interpretation of watching multiple angles, including Feral Cheryl's on the incident of the chalk, in an aggressive fashion, not once, but twice, copious amounts of this cornstarch powder upon a person. And a police officer watched that and said, yes, that's assault. That's battery. You're going to jail. It doesn't matter if Aaron's right about the square patties being people. Because if the officer of the law looks at someone's actions and says, that's against the law, then you are breaking the law, okay? That's what that means. It doesn't mean it's a conspiracy of Wendy's to control the narrative about their square patties not being made from human carcasses. Okay? Similarly, this is not a conspiracy about Scientology trying to shut down a protester, because we've gone over OSA ops. We've gone over their tactics. Now, making yourself look like an assault victim against a protester, yes. We've done that. I've told you how we drilled it. Yes. The second assault with the door thing, where Aaron had his, size 11 and a half feet in the door, and the guy is like, pow, pow, like aggressively slamming the door on Aaron's foot. Aaron actually got hurt. And then in the motion of Aaron trying to step back from that door, the security guard very carefully placed himself in the backwards pathway of Aaron, and then was like, you almost tried to kill me, right? Which is the same thing that the person, that James Richardson, aka Buddy, did to Mark Bunker back in the 90s, where he stood right behind Mark Bunker, gave him a startle, and then Mark Bunker actually stepped back and stepped accidentally onto James Richardson's foot. And James Richardson, if you guys remember that incident, went directly to the police and was like, this man who weighs 7,000 pounds crushed my foot under the grotesque weight of his body. And then the police officer was like, well, let me see the video. And he's like, are you for real right now? This is a joke, right? Are you for real right now? You walked over here just fine. You don't seem to be injured. Are you going to the hospital? Like, they threw that away. They knew it was bullshit. Okay. The difference is between Mark Bunker and Aaron. Mark Bunker has been filming and speaking to Scientologists for decades. How many times has Mark Bunker been accused of battery, where it was an actual accusation brought to a court? It was approved by the court and heard by the court as a thing. I'll wait. None. None. That's the answer. None. Mark Bunker has no criminal charges for that. Aaron's actions, and only Aaron's actions, not his upbringing. That's a case for the trial, right? You want to argue that Aaron is mentally unstable because of his upbringing? Sure, that's a defense. Do it. Okay? But like you can't continue, especially if you have a criminal charge pending. You can't continue that similar type behavior and think, when you know an evil, dominating human sex child trafficking organization with billions of dollars is not going to try and entrap you in more charges and fuck your shit up. So when people want to then in this chat just be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Everyone needs to be arrested. The laws are all broken. The judge is corrupt and the DA is awful and his lawyer's the worst. Like, no. Where did the actions come from? The actions came from Mr. Smith-Levin. They did not come from the Church of Scientology. Nobody told him to go do that shit. Okay? So yesterday, watching this absolute delulu fucking denial as a river in Egypt fest, I didn't say anything about it. I had no comment. Right? These three people want to think that Aaron's actions are totally fine. I don't agree with that. And yes, this is going to have massive consequences for other people protesting, because Scientology will use this as a leaping pad to do more damage. Okay. Jenna was the only one talking sense. Okay. And she hates me the most. Jenna was the only one talking sense when she was like, guys, we can't say things about the judge or the DA that's going to go and tank Aaron's case. Please don't. Okay. She's correct. Also, Aaron had a statement from jail. Let me see if I can fast forward to just the statement. I'm not going to play the statement. Okay. So back to Feral Cheryl here for a second. So just to confirm, you guys can all see this. Her email, feralcheryl@gmail.com. So much to my surprise this morning, I received the following. And this is the whole email, guys. It's a real, just pay attention. From feralcheryl@gmail. Hey, fuck you. With a this emoji. For what? Now, I've been very critical of you today in this stream, Cheryl. That's 100% true. But for what? Fuck me for what? For saying that you put up $1,000 for Aaron's bail and now you lost that to the state. You're never going to get that back from them. Is Aaron going to pay you back? Has he paid you back? Those are questions. But really? Hey, fuck you. I wasn't making a comment on your newly minted and debuted, hard-launched relationship with Eric Rader. Yeah, just going to drink some water. No comment. And why was that part of talking about Aaron being in jail? Weird. But guys, the fun doesn't end there. Let me pull up. And of course, everyone's live protesting right now. Live. So I made a little clippy clip. And Aaron's in jail, so he can't copyright strike me. So if somebody else does it, then it is definitely a setup. Where are my clippy clips? Where's my clippers? Where are they? Oh, I think I have to go to the home. I cannot see it so small. Is it on my channel? I think it's on my channel, isn't it? Someone help me. Where's my clips? No, that's my actual page. I have to make it bigger. It's not showing me. Oh, there we go. My clips. Oh, I didn't put it in the clips. Now I'm like looking at a thing that isn't even a thing. Idiot. Please hold while I sort through my 10 million video clips here. Here it is. Here we are. Let's share this. And let's go to this one. There it is. Okay, you guys ready? Let's look at it. This is from last night. Check out the beautiful $2 that somebody spent to say this comment. So I want you to watch it one more time. Watch how Cheryl is hysterically laughing until Jenna, look how amused Jenna is here. And then watch how mad she gets. Who? Y'all know who I am. Y'all know who I am. Yeah. Oh, you guys couldn't hear it? Son of a bitch. I don't know why you guys can't hear it. Yeah, but they read it. I don't know what to say. They read it and then and then they all laugh and then Jenna says, I don't know, who's Nora? I don't know who Nora is. And then Cheryl's like, who? Oh man. Yeah. Okay, no sound, fine. I got it. I don't know why there's no sound. No, that's the fit. Why is there no audio? I heard it. I don't know. I don't know, but anyway, that's what happened. That's toward the end of the video if you want to go look at the video on Aaron's when they're reading all the comments. You know, and that's fine. I wasn't even going to do anything about that. I clipped it for posterity. Okay? But like, why send that email, Cheryl? I mean, you're so busy protesting. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, Dodge did an update in his his sweater apparel. Cheryl is live right now. Let's see what she's even showing on her stream. Again, they're just talking about what a good friend Cheryl is and how amazing she is, and all these other people want her number now. Guys, don't give out your number to rando people. What's up, Reese? What's up, Reese's Pieces? And they're doing a live right now from Aaron's, which is not Aaron. Let's see who's doing it. Let's see if they're just rebroadcasting Cheryl's or what's happening, because I thought the intention, what Cheryl said was, oh, Natalie's doing a serious interview here. Who's she interviewing? Who's this? Okay, so they showed Cheryl. I don't know who this person is. Let me see if you guys can hear this and you tell me. Welcome to the Outcast chat. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Basically, that's where you are now. Welcome, Outcasts. Welcome, Rejects. Welcome to the Real Talk chat. come on in. But this is yeah. So this stream is called Free Aaron Smith 11. Sorry, Nat, I didn't mean to pause you right there.
Aaron ends up being taken into custody.
She retells the story as I just did. I'm gonna put up my fair use under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Made, Nora. Made, not mad. It's made. Made. For fair use. For purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. So
for that, and
she just talks about that. Then she goes and shows Cheryl's protest, which is here. There's Cheryl protesting out on the street. Oh, what's that?
Scientology cult math.
Yep. Nat explaining things. And more Cheryl.
You guys are in Cheryl's chat, or maybe
she's just out there grooving, eating pizza, as you do when you're protesting. Protesting and pizza, guys. Okay, so let's see who this person is that she brings up. I don't know.
You gotta be able to hear it. That's the thing. You gotta be able to hear it. I want to bring on a special guest now who's going to have a chat with us here, and we're going to get questions as well. And you all know Brooks Gibbs from the Save the Garden Project. He's been on Aaron's channel. He's been on my channel. He has really helped spearhead a community effort to, y'all remember when Scientology was trying to buy that street? And people were like, oh, hell no. And it ended up not happening. And now it's
okay, so this is a guy who's trying to save downtown Clearwater from Scientology. That's who she's chatting with. I don't know who this person is, but there you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Again, Jennifer, correct. Scientology is not the people who put Aaron in jail. His actions, which were interpreted by officers of the court known as cops, decided he broke the law. And then the attorney, district attorney, state attorney, said, yes, crime. We will prosecute. Okay. That's what happened. Yes. Did Scientology call the popos thousands of times upon Aaron and the other protesters? Yes. Were most of those false reports? Yes. Do they use that as a tactic to intimidate protesters? Yes. And guess what happened with all those other calls? Nada. Nothing, because there was no crime being committed. They even went so far as to bring up his incarceration in Los Angeles yesterday. Okay, let's recap that. Aaron, holding his phone, went up very close to an older African-American gentleman and was like, hey, are you working for Scientology? And the guy turned around, very angry, with a rat, in my opinion, rabid dogs, okay, and said, get away from me. I am a Vietnam vet with PTSD. Don't talk to me. Aaron laughed, moved to a different side of this guy, put himself in the street where there was like a barricade. He put himself in the street and continued to follow him. At which point the man turned around. His dog became agitated. There was some scuffle. He hit Aaron with his cane and struck his gimbal. Liz Gale picked up the gimbal. She was right there. And the man went away. Then a bunch of protesters went after the man. Scott had his first exclusive interview as a journalist with that man because, in his words, he was just there to get the story. He's not on any side. Go back and watch that video, guys. That was Scott who got the exclusive interview with the guy that hit Aaron before. Then they had the big Hollywood cop thing where we had an actual cop who we know is paid off by Scientology, okay, who's been participating in several Scientological events, been holding the check for the police activities lead, has sung and performed in the Christmas stories, all of that. We know that guy's an agent of Scientology. He shows up like fucking Rambo, puts Aaron in cuffs. It's a whole display. The man who hit Aaron empties his pockets like it's fucking, the movie Airplane, okay, with multiple weapons and knives. Somehow he's totally safe. Aaron was aggressive, right? Okay, so Aaron is then cuffed to a bench in the bathroom. The group of protesters goes to the Hollywood station, and they're chanting and they're bullhorning, "Free Aaron!" Was Aaron formally charged at that moment? No. No actual charges were put on the books. Aaron was not arrested. He was just really grotesquely detained. Did Aaron take the $30,000+ that was just spontaneously donated to him in a GoFundMe that he did not set up to hire a fucking civil rights attorney and sue the bejesus out of the LAPD for false imprisonment and everything else? No. And when asked, well, are you going to give that money back? He said, I didn't ask for it. Why should I give it back? What was the lesson that Aaron learned from that? There's no consequences for his actions. When that door was slammed on his foot and he was, maneuvered into a false setup of, Aaron committing battery against someone, that incident, I agree, is a total setup, Scientology setup, 100%. Did he go immediately to the hospital and have his foot examined and sue that fucking old guy who slammed his foot 3 times? No. Did he go to the police and report the battery that was committed on him by that gentleman that he had video of? No. But now somehow Scientology is doing all these things to all the protesters. Aaron's the only one that this has happened to in Florida. Now, that other woman, I think it's Erica, she got hit by a car. They won't even take her case. There's multiple videos of a car hitting her. Now, actually, guess what? That guy was arrested for hitting her with the car finally. Okay? So when something bad happens, you got to go to the police. You got to go report it. You can't pretend that nothing happened and there's no consequences and then get mad when you get consequences for your actions. Okay? People need to really understand this. If Scientology was running an op, in my opinion, to destroy Aaron, there's a lot of other things that they could do. Okay? Look what they did to Paulette Cooper. They literally tried to get her declared a domestic terrorist and have her put into the deepest, darkest prisons in the 1970s to never see the light of day again. That's the kind of bullshit that Scientology does. They go and poison people's dogs. They go and fucking, paper your neighborhood with false accusations about you. Okay? That's what they do. They do what they did in that doorway. Okay? But and guys, this is my non-professional, non-expert advice to you, the audience, if you're going to go protest. If you go protest and an officer of the law decides your actions at that protest constitute something illegal, okay? Get a lawyer. Stop talking. Don't do those things again until that case is settled. I think that's pretty simple. But if you continue those activities, hi, Toby. If you continue to be an agitating force outside of the place that is accusing you of all kinds of things, most of which are not true. Thank you, Reese, for releasing the mods. I appreciate you allowing me to have them. I do not want to end up in the basement with them. Thank you. Then what's happening now is happening. NDA signed, of course. Yeah. So let's be real about what's happening right now. This is very serious. There are 2 separate charges pending. So in my Nostradamus moment here, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I probably won't be right, but I've been right about a lot of things. I feel like I just saw Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and he's like interpreting the dreams, and he's like, "Sorry, but I've never been wrong before." That's what I feel like that moment right now. When he tells the baker that, he's getting executed. So sorry. Yeah, don't throw things. That's just rule number 1. That's common sense. Look what happened to the sandwich guy, guys. The sandwich guy who threw a sandwich at an ice worker. Finally, that whole case has, been thrown out. Here's what I think, because this is what I think is going to happen. Okay. As a streamer, Aaron has documented all of his protests for the last, it hasn't been 2 years, Cheryl. Stop padding the stats. For the last, since he's only been protesting this year, guys. So for this year, for 2025, or maybe like towards the end, it's probably been like exactly a year now. He's documented all of his activities, including the leaning of the signs on the property, including, getting close to the boundary of the property line, including all of the things that have come out of his mouth hole that are not scripted, to Scientologists and fake Space Navy members, and publicly what he said about, the people that have an order of protection on him. Okay. That's all documented. That's on his channel. He hasn't taken one of those videos down. All the state's attorney has to do is have one of his little interns go and comb through those videos. And there could be more charges because he's documented his behavior. But there's a caveat there. Why is there a second charge? Not because something actually happened there, but because there's a person willing to come forward to corroborate that and press charges. So, in order for there to be more charges, Scientology would have to okay any one of the Scientologists that Aaron has interacted with and say that that person is approved to go to the police and press charges for that incident, whatever crime they're going to allege, whether or not it's real. Okay? Does not matter. If it is something that an officer of the court, an officer of the law can interpret as a crime, a statute violation, it will be put on the charge books. Okay? There are a number of Scientologists in those videos that Scientology would absolutely be like, we need you to go to the police, and here's what I need you to say. And they will give them a script. Now we do have Scientology. In that case, we would absolutely have Scientology influencing the outcome and trying to put more penalties onto Aaron than he's already facing right now. Because these are both first-degree misdemeanors, he can face maximum charges for both charges is up to a year in jail, which this time he's serving right now would count towards that. Okay. So let's say they don't let him out of jail until the trial's over, right? Until it's totally determined. All of the time he spends in jail will go towards that time that he's, demanded to serve. So if he gets the maximum penalty for these two things, that's 2 years in jail, $1,000 fine, and a year of probation. That would be the absolute maximum if they combine the maximum on both things. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to rule, what they're going to say, what's going to be the reasoning of the judge and the state's attorney. They may just leave it at these two. But if Scientology, in fact, has decided that Aaron Smith-Levin is the most important Scientology critic to shut up, and they think that taking him down will destroy the movement, as it were, then they will tack on more charges and they will try to keep him incarcerated for as many years as humanly possible as allowed by the law. If they are trying to make a statement like, watch out, protesters, be afraid, they will stick with these two charges and try to get the maximum, right? They will, bring forth other witnesses and things like that. Okay. Either way, whether they tack on more charges, which is, I think, what they're going to do. It's not, I want to be abundantly clear for all the people out there like, you're the worst person in the world. That's not what I'm hoping for. This is what I'm predicting will happen. I'm not saying I want that or it should happen. I'm just saying that's what I think is going to happen. Okay. Because now that Scientology got that second charge, I think absolutely they're going to try and go for another one. And if Cheryl and Natalie and Jenna, in my opinion, want to be the most helpful to Aaron right now, stop adding fuel to the fire. Like I said, last night, Jenna was the only one talking sense, telling the chat not to like attack law enforcement, the district attorney, or the judge. Because I promise you, everyone is watching the comment section of all of us. Hi, Osa. Right? And if you say nasty shit about that judge, about the state's attorney, about any of his deputy attorneys, about the cops involved, that's it, man. Case closed. Because they can prove a conspiracy at that point. They can prove that this was his intention. Like, guys, you have to think these things through. Yes, we can all be emotional about it. You can have your fifis about it. Okay. But Cheryl, I would think now that you're, as you insinuated yesterday, you were very busy. That would tend me to believe that you might have had, your first orgasm in the 2000s. And you go, girl. You go, girl. Like, that should make you happier, right? An endorphin rush. Also, saying fuck you to a lesbian with that, like, I don't accept the offer also. But I do come highly recommended. Hey-o! What's so bad about a big cult taking out a small cult? Who's taking out who? Who's taking out who, Austrian Factor? Which cult is fighting which cult? Guys, I got to make jokes about this stuff. Otherwise, I'm just going to curl up in a ball and literally be sad. I can't. I can't with this. It was the 90s. That's the last time you had an orgasm. Reese, that's not good. Girlfriend, you got to get on that. You got to get on that. I don't know. Reese, you're commenting on somebody else, and then I just took that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. Anyway, guys, listen. Aaron's got over $800 in his commissary. That should do you for like a year. But you're welcome, guys. Go donate. You can connect with him on Simple Connect. But you do know that, like, in the old days when a prisoner would call their friend or their family, you would get the thing like, you have a call from, and then it would be like the person record the name like Joe from Salem State Prison. Do you accept the charges? And then you'd have to like fucking say yes. And then every minute they talk to you, you're paying for it. Right. You're going to pay for those fun text messages you send Aaron. You pay for the Zoom call. And if you want to do that, go do it. Oh, okay. You're talking about Scientology taking out Aaron's cult. Yeah, it was very culty last night on that stream. I felt very like, wow. But listen, who am I? I mean, I don't run a cult here, guys. You guys can go do whatever the fuck you want. You can go talk to Aaron, go talk to Scott, go do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay? This is not a cult. I appreciate you coming here, engaging with me. Thank you for being alive here in the chat tonight. And everything. That was you from prison, Joe. It's let's see. Oh man, I haven't done my Scottish accent in forever, and now I'm stuck on that British accent that I was doing. Yeah, Aussie, exactly. If I were Aaron, I would ask them to stop talking online just in case he needs them to be a witness so they can explain to the court that Scientology does bully protesters. Exactly. Now, taking this as a impetus, that's the word I'm looking for, impetus, vigorous, sorry. I'm cracking myself up. If you guys have not watched The Diplomat, please do yourself a favor and binge that show like my wife and I did. In season 3, there is a scene in which the word vigorous is used. And once you get there, you will never, never not say the word vigorous like that again. Do the JoJo accent. All right. Listen here. It's Joe calling from the clink. All right, get me out of here. Get me away. Oh, Joe does it the best, though. Joe's accent is the best. I love talking to JoJo just to like hear her talk. Anyway, I know I do have your 10 clips. I got to put them on my board. Joe. I have a new board and I can add 4 custom things. So one of your clips is going to be there. Go do one. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the deal, guys. No, and I made a joke about Cheryl's sex life. Listen, I want people to be happy. Orgasms make people happy. Go do you. You do you, boo. But aggressively emailing me okay. What was the purpose? I thought you're older than me, Cheryl. Like, I'm not even 50 yet. And like, what's wrong with you? Go have another orgasm and sort yourself out. Okay. And go protest, go eat your pizza, go have your Friday night funsies with your prans. Okay. No one's mad. But my advice to all of those people that are now out there protesting with their free Aaron signs and shit like that, you are making it worse. Joe's like, that's not me. Bye, Ozzy. Go to bed. I know it's late for you, but thank you for being here. Yeah. No, I got to work on my Scottish. I got into that weird British, I was like doing the Billy Idol. Right. Yeah. Now I can't do the Scottish. I'm totally fucked up. Yeah. But that's, guys, the protesting is making the needle move. What Audit LA and Laura and Mona and Amy and everybody who calls in to the LA City Council, that's making the needle move. Okay. Being in the room where it happens and talking to the police commission, talking to the important people, talking to the lawmakers is making it happen. Okay. I'll just have Joe up as a guest and she can she doesn't even have to show her face. She just has to talk. And then she can, and then if it's not Scottish, it's crap. That's the singular greatest Mike Myers line of all time. If it isn't Scottish, it's crap. Yeah. But guys, we have to focus on what's actually effective, what's actually moving the needle. Whether or not Aaron Smith Levin continues in jail, becomes a convicted, criminal, will mean nothing. Honestly, nothing in the scope of taking down Scientology. It's a footnote. It really means nothing. And the other thing we have to understand, guys, is that in the grand scheme of all of life, as John Atack so eloquently put, Scientology is a literal blip on the radar. Scientology only continues to exist because we continue to talk about it. No one cares what they do, say, think, or feel. No one. Do they have a boatload of fucking money? Yeah, because they're a fucking MLM. And the guy at the top, David Miscavige, is hoarding all that money like all of the fucking oligarchs in our goddamn world are, making all of us, indentured servants to their fucking products. Okay? There's a lot of really real bad shit going on. Gaza is still going. Putin just bombed Kyiv again. Okay? And there's a genocide happening in South Sudan that no one is talking about. Okay? We have 3 genocides happening at once, probably more. Okay? We've got Ukrainian genocide happening. We've got the Palestinian genocide happening in Gaza. And we've got the genocide happening in South Sudan. Those 3 things are way more important than this fucking science fiction mindfuck religion that Tom Cruise keeps, fucking legitimizing. Okay. And whether or not any of us goes to jail or anything else does not matter. If we did crimes. Okay. There's a difference between people out there in Chicago protesting against ICE and the National Guard being illegally in their city. Moms sitting out there holding hands in a circle that are being dragged off to jail and charged with bullshit. Are they criminals? No. That's protesting. And Aaron Smith Levin throwing chalk on someone, okay, and getting in people's faces, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Okay? Someone in his chat yesterday actually had the balls to say that he was like Martin Luther King Jr. That's when you know you're dealing with a cult, guys. I'm sorry. That's when I have to call it a cult. Minimally, the chat's a cult over there. Bo, I disagree with your stance on the importance of Scientology as they've infiltrated many important positions in many governments. Don't fool yourself. They're not that important, Bo. I'm gonna say this very directly. They are not as powerful as the Heritage Foundation in terms of their political influence. Why do I know this? Because the president of the United States is pretending to be an alt-right evangelical Christian, not pretending to be a Scientologist. That should tell you everything. Okay? This man who went in front of a church and held a Bible upside down, okay, can't give out a favorite quote, can't name the apostles. He's not pretending to be a Scientologist and talking about L. Ron Hubbard and Dianetics. Okay? That should tell you everything. When Scientology can get to the Heritage Foundation level of influence, give me a call. Because they're not that influential. You know why? Because they're not spending their money and their time doing the safe pointing anymore. That's, my friends, how Audit and Laura and all the other people got their fucking foot in the door. Because they let off the gas. They're hashtag winning. And David Miscavige is a teeny tiny little greedy fucking dictator who decided it's all about him and fuck everybody else. And how do I get more money out of these people? Okay. So yeah, I'm going to bat that back at you, Bo, but I get it. But let's be real. Let's be real. Okay. Should Scientology be shut down? 100p. Should, when we're protesting, we focus on telling the truth about that? Yes. Use this book. Let it help you out. Use the other books that survivors wrote. Okay? But let's not get it twisted. Let's not put ourselves up on this huge pedestal. Is Aaron Smith Levin the most important person that's ever spoken out about Scientology? Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. Not at all. Am I? No. For all those people like, she thinks she's so important. Actually, I don't. Except for in my real life with my family and my wife and my children and the rest of my relatives and my friends. Yes. I am the star of my own life. Sure. Okay. His right-hand lady is a Scientologist. Who? Aaron's? Jenna's not a Scientologist. Let's not say things like that. Jenna's not a Scientologist. Come on now. Let's not say things like that. You have Jamie's book with you every Saturday when you're protesting. That's amazing, Miriam. That's amazing. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Trump. You're talking about Pam Bondi. She's not a Scientologist. Don't say that either, because that's not true. And Melania is not a Scientologist. They have been heavily paid and donated to by Scientology, as have a lot of Republicans. But they are not Scientologists by any stretch of the measure. Grant Cardone would love that, but that's not true. That's not facts. That's not facts. Yeah, no, I figured it out that she was talking about Pam Bondi. I finally got back into the right conversation. Yeah, just another Joe Osteen. Exactly. Great analogy. David Miscavige is the Scientological Joe Osteen. 100%. 100%. Oh, and Irish has it with her too. I love that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So people are big time in their fifis right now. People are feeling a lot of emotions, and that's fine. And guys, I get it. If my friend had been, arrested in front of me in the middle of a courtroom for something that I really, really thought, go look at the records, Leah. Go look at the records. There's no record of her ever completing any Scientology service ever. And if she was, trust me, they would be pumping that up. But I'm not saying she's not influenced by Scientology because of her close connections and her big donors like Lee Dundas and Grant Cardone and things like that. But she's an ally. She's not one of them, right? It's like Labiqua. You're gay, or you're like, my daughter's gay and I'm an ally, right? Like she's that. She's the mom at the Pride Parade with way too many flags. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I just think, what is this? What are these? Now I have to pull it up to see what these emojis are. Oh, it's ants. Okay. I just couldn't see it in my chat here. We have to focus on truth, okay? Because and I keep bringing Audit up because I'm just going to keep bringing her up. When Audit goes to the city council meeting or to the police commissioner meeting, she brings Jamie's book, she brings other things, but she brings truth. She brings facts, undeniable, irrefutable facts about Scientology and their violations of the law. Those things have started to move the needle in a direction Scientology is not enjoying. Okay. You cannot fight a delusional philosophy cult based on lies and untruths with more lies and innuendo. You have to fight it with truth. Okay. You have to fight it with the bare truth. That's why going after their actual violations of laws, their labor law violations, their permit violations, etc., is effective. Using their own words against them, like the quote from Dianetics about an 8-year-old girl not shuddering away from a kiss, even a passionate one, from an adult, unless she had bad memories from her past lives. That's effective. Okay? Running up to elderly cult indoctrinated people and telling them nasty things about themselves or whatever, shouting obscenities at them like Scott did when he was protesting at Blue, which is one of the charges, is not effective. It's not helpful. And it's also not true. Okay? And it's not going to do anything to do that. Okay? So in order to be effective, we have to deal in truth. And we have to stop glorifying, cultifying, deifying people who do bad acts. It's the same contention I have with Mike Rinder. I want people to stop putting a goddamn Superman cape on that man. He committed crimes, actual crimes, while he was the head of the chief cover-up unit known as the Office of Special Affairs, and continued that same behavior when he didn't inform victims whose crimes he covered up while he was working for Scientology that there was a look-back window that they could utilize to get justice. Now, everyone can, contemplate why that was and think of all the reasons why Mike didn't do that. It doesn't matter. He didn't do it. That's the action. He didn't do it. So let's stop thinking about the feelings and the focus on the actions. Focus on who's doing the actions that are effective. So far, the product, okay, as they would say in Scientology, the product of Aaron's protesting, his Costco pizza party on Fridays, is he's in jail. That's the product. Now, He has made claims that people have contacted him at the foundation, at the SPTV Foundation, that he has secret people giving him info from the inside. I don't think that's a good thing. There are probably a lot of interrogations going on about that. But we don't, and again, people don't have to come forward. They don't have to tell their story, but I don't have any evidence of said people. We do have evidence, however, that Scientology is not getting their week-long permits, and they couldn't kick us out on Father's Day at Big Blue. And Scientology isn't getting all of the cozy relationships with the police in LA that they usually had for, 30 plus years. Why? Because of truths that are repeated over and over and over again to them in public and in private meetings, and because of that, a lot of other things are in motion in Los Angeles. What's in motion in Clearwater? We have a group of non-protesters who got together to say no to Scientology, specifically about the city selling off streets to anybody, not just Scientology. Are those people out there protesting? No. Did Aaron donate money to that group? I have no idea. Has Aaron gone to the meetings, the city council meetings, as many times as this group of people has to protest about the street renaming and closure? No. But Audit shows up every day, rain or shine, to go to the meetings and say the truth. That's the difference. And Audit also goes and protests and goes and has conversations with the hired security guards, with people that she's encountering. Okay? And this is what I see other people doing. Miriam's in the chat. I'm going to shout you out. Haggis is in the chat who does that. Okay? All these other people that are out there that somehow aren't getting arrested because they're not doing crimes, guys. And again, to clarify, I don't necessarily agree with all of the charges against Aaron as being criminal. What I'm saying is that some of the actions that he has recorded himself doing in the process of quote unquote protesting, similarly to Scott, have butt up against the rules and regulations of the area that they are doing those actions in and have been interpreted by law enforcement as illegal. And now they're facing the consequences of that. Thank you. This is Audit's channel. Let's just give her a proper shout out. Let me pull up her channel here. All right, let me get this up here. Irish is awesome also. I agree, Donna. Here we go. Here's Audit's channel. If you guys are not subscribed, go subscribe. Her last live was yesterday. Afternoon shenanigans. Oh, and that's Laura. She's out there with Laura. Okay. Go subscribe. And T, yes. And T down under in Australia. Doing the do. Absolutely. That's a totally different comment. I am a Scientology survivor. I do not promote it. I'm definitely not for Scientology. And Irish goes alone every Sunday to protest Dublin, Ireland, org. And I love you. I love you for doing that, Irish. So let's just keep focusing, guys. Let's not lose focus. Focus on the good acts that are being done. Okay? Aaron, people are giving him money hand over fist. Super chats galore. His commissary stocked up to almost $900. I think he's good. But again, I don't get to make that decision. He can ask for whatever he wants. Okay? Yeah. This is a very true statement, Donna. Look how much Laura has grown since hanging around Audit. Yes, she's learning a lot of things. She's learning in 11, as Laura would say. Yeah. So, guys, support the people that are out there every week. Support Miriam at Scientology Up North, and Irish Mart, and Haggis, and Audit, and Lara, and the people out there that are speaking the truth without committing crimes about Scientology. And about a lot of other things, guys. There's a lot of really good protesting going on, especially in my country here in America. And support those guys too. All right, that's really all I have, guys. I could milk this for, I'm not going to milk it for 8 hours. So you guys were wrong. So whoever bet on that pool, flunk. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm going to go make dinner for my family. That's what I'm about to do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to my members. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to put my QR code back up. Guys, if you can help with my legal fund, I still got to pay the full retainer, $5,000 for Merritt McKeon. My next court date is November 20th, which is coming up next week, next Thursday. Aaron's next court date is the day after. So he's trying to just be like me. It's so like, it's giving like, single white female Aaron, like, stop trying to be cool like me and be in court. On Friday. So Aaron's is next Friday. Mine is next Thursday. Scott's next date. Scott. Where did it go? Oh, that's the wrong one. His is the 24th, I believe. So I was looking at the wrong case here. But if you guys are interested in courty kind of things, that's what's going on. Thank you, as always, to my lady mods for keeping me in line and keeping everything else. And I will see you all on the flippity dippity.